What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Willie the Kid, and I'm back with another one, man. This is Eastwick Boxing Talk, and today we're going to talk about tainted meat and Canelo Alvarez testing positive. Um, I got my panel with me, man. I got my boy from Truth and Facts About Boxing, Mr. Co-host, my ace, El Hermanito, that's older, much older, Bo Bland. What's up, Bo?
What's going on, man? Let's get this party started.
And then we got another guest, Mr. Minnesota himself. Kashai, what's going on, fam?
Hey, for the record, y'all, I don't claim shit, Minnesota, y'all. I just work here. I live here. These niggas can kiss my black ass. I'm from Arkansas.
Hey,
how y'all doing?
I'm good. And of course, my man 2K. What's going on, Mr. Prodigy of Boxing?
He called him Mr. Minnesota. Damn, man.
That's disrespectful as hell.
That ice fishing shit is that's gonna follow you for a long time around here, man.
I was just gonna ask. So, if you don't claim Minnesota, where do you claim where you learned that ice fishing shit? Then
I'm gonna tell you this.
Hey,
they
this
don't
is
do that.
The first.
They don't do that in Little Rock.
Person to do it.
Hey,
I got
we ain't
family
got no
in Little
ice.
Rock. They don't do that down there, bro.
hey, I'm gonna
We
do
ain't
this.
got no
Right?
ice, nigga.
This is the part where the host takes over. Let's get to the topic, motherfuckers. Hey, yo, Bo. You heard the news, and what you think, man, about Canelo failing the drug test, fam?
you know what, man? If you a hater of Canelo Alvarez, you're gonna hold this over his head forever. If you somebody that like Canelo Alvarez, you're gonna defend the shit out of it. And the reality is this: that in Mexico, there is there's lots of cases, and it's not just Eric Morales. Lots of cases where they do have tainted meat, and now they're saying, and this is coming directly from VADA, that the amount that they found is consistent with someone that has been eating contaminated meat. My biggest issue is your team knows this. Like, this is something that I'm you and your team are aware of. So why would you hold a training camp in Mexico? And if you was, why would you use the meat that could possibly, because you don't know what is tainted and what's not. So now they're moving the camp here to the US, but I'm like, what changed? Because this is where your camp normally is. So what changed? So I mean, people are gonna look at it and be suspicious about it. But for me, I'm gonna wait and see how this plays out and see what goes on. But it's just a bad look for Canelo and his team.
I'm in your mindset. I hear that. 2K, want to elaborate?
Well, one thing I want to get out there is the whole drug in general, clenbuterol, man. What it is it's a
just to cut weight, right?
It was used for cats that had bronchitis, and basically you had respiratory issues for bronchitis, so doctors would prescribe that for them. And then, the fitness world saw that, yeah, what my man Willie said, it helps you cut weight a lot faster than normal. So a lot of cats in the fitness world that compete, they use clenbuterol so they can shed the weight.
Now you're a gym rat. No mean to cut you off, so I gotta ask, right? But yeah. Somebody told me that you could actually cut weight with this while keeping on muscle.
Absolutely, okay. Absolutely. That's why I said the guys that compete. I've lifted weights with a lot of guys that compete and shit. That's exactly what they use it for. They're able to keep that muscle on. So, and knowing that it's Canelo Alvarez is the one that had it in his system, it makes sense because, he balloons up to like 185 pounds when he's not active. You know what I'm saying? Probably even bigger than that. And you can tell by the size of his neck. You know what I'm saying? But clenbuterol is like it's cyclic, meaning you do it in cycles. So basically, they found trace amounts, and it could have been from the food. Now I'm from South Texas. You know what I'm saying? I ate a lot of motherfucking Mexican meat down there, man. I ain't never had no clenbuterol in my system, not that I know of. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of fat ass motherfuckers in South Texas too, so clenbuterol ain't working for them. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's cyclic, you know what I'm saying, means that he could be Test could have caught it while it was going out of his system. So I'm not going to sit there and absolve him of any wrongdoing when that drug in particular is cyclic. You know what I'm saying?
So you're more of you feel like you're looking at it as a suspect as opposed to like a wait and see approach.
Well, this is the thing. you know, and shout out to Breadman. He put on, I think it was Twitter, and shout out to man C-Bone for putting it in the chat for us to see. He said on Twitter that, you know, 80% of these guys are cycling. And I've always said that, man. Most professional athletes do take something that's illegal. You know, these tests just couldn't catch it. You know what I'm saying? That's just the bottom line. So in this situation, we caught the trace amounts of something that I believe Canelo has been doing for a while.
And we actually just had Bernard hop on. How you doing, fam?
What's good, fellas? What's good?
You know, we're talking Canelo Alvarez and the failed drug test. You got any thoughts?
I'm shocked. I'm gonna say I'm surprised to hear it with it coming 2 months before their fight. You know.
Yeah, he got caught with I believe it was the voluntary drug test that they put in for this fight. Both guys had to sign up for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't even like, I don't think it was even the governing bodies that had anything to do with this. This was just something that they, I believe, put in the contracts.
Straight VADA.
Yeah, right. So this is
what test number was this? The first test too, or was this the second test?
Yeah, see, that's the things they don't tell you, because I think there's a way you could find out. I didn't really dig too deep into it. Actually, just got home like an hour ago, if that. Kasha, man, let me get your thoughts.
I gotta follow what 2K was saying. I'm not just gonna just say that all Mexican meat is tainted, but then again, that nigga could have been taking clenbuterol and just didn't know it. You know, it's just it's unprofessional. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go with Bo with his input when he said that, you know, why have a camp down there? You know, imagine, you know, Mayweather having a tainted meat in his prime, or Andre Ward going through the same thing. Would he have a legion of fans saying that it was tainted meat, or would they all just be kind of calling him a ped user? You know, so.
All right, so let me ask you guys this, man, and y'all could all feel to jump in and answer it. However, whoever wants to go first, it don't matter. Is the drug testing working? Because a lot of guys seem to be getting popped. And are you surprised that the number keeps getting higher and higher of people that we could look at with a suspect eye? Any one of you guys could go ahead and answer it, man. It don't matter.
Okay. Y'all some shy motherfuckers. I'll take it. Yeah, it's working. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, the results speak for themselves. We got cats getting popped twice in a 6 and 8 month span. Now, what's not working is the repercussions. You know, we're getting these motherfuckers failing drug tests, but the repercussions aren't following, you know, in the right state, in my opinion. I mean, motherfuckers should be getting suspended a lot more. I think Alexander Povetkin should have been banned indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's where the problem lies, in my opinion. The testing is working, the repercussions aren't.
So?
Yeah, for me, I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think either one of them is working, because it ain't stopping these dudes from trying something. There's always some new shit coming out, and these motherfuckers are late to the party. And the reason why the punishment or the results of it, the punishment isn't working, because there's too much money involved in it. Because these sanctioning bodies, they want their money. In a big fight like this, they all gonna take their time. But in a fight that it don't matter, they'll cut a motherfucker real quick. Mm-hmm. So. You know, for me, yeah. So for me, either way, it does not working.
Kashaya, go ahead. You got next.
I think it's working, but I think one, you know, you're facing new drugs, and two, it seemed like a lot of motherfuckers is heading to Mexico. Like, it's a lot of people getting popped down in Mexico for whatever reason, or saying that, hey, I was on vacation here, and like, so a lot of these areas are, you know, these areas of interest should be stayed away from, or, you know, these consequences need to be a little bit more steep to give you a incentive to stay the fuck away from them.
I know they do have tainted meat, and it's been an issue down there for a while. But you know, so it's only right, like in cases where, like, they say, oh, it's a small trace consistent with this or whatever. Like,
what does that mean?
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
What the fuck does that mean?
No, well, what they mean is that whatever they found in the system wasn't something that could be enough for a person to take as a drug to use for its intended purpose or whatever may be the case.
But that's bullshit, because if he's cycling, we don't know what the original amount was before you tested him was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to 2K's point, Bernard, you want to chime in on this one before we go to the next point real quick?
Yeah, I wanted to say something, but I was trying to figure out if you got this the WBC, those fighters out in the WBC. I thought that sanctioning body had that drug program where you're getting tested all year round.
That's VADA.
That's VADA.
VADA. Okay.
That's who we got caught by.
Yeah, but I believe this was like from the statement that I read that they issued out was that he got caught for a voluntary, which means that this was probably something that was separate, put into the contract that they both have to agree to, and it's all voluntary. So in other words, it was just put in the contract to make sure, okay, we're going to do this testing. This is what we're going to follow.
Right. Exactly. It's the same company though.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
The WBC and all the other sanctioning bodies, I believe it's what the IBF and the WBA, excuse me. Yeah. They can also say, hey, we're not sanctioning this fight. I don't think they'll do that. It's too much money on the line, but you know, they can all make decisions based on that test.
They can make a decision, and it's a big money fight, so I don't see that going down the waistline at all. Quick question, man. Like to your point, 2K, what I wanted to get into was that the problem is a lot of these guys are getting popped, man, and then they go to appeal, and then the punishment is not really meeting the crime. So what's going on, man? Is it a case of money talks? What you think?
I think money always talks. That's a good question. And I feel just like in Alexander Povetkin's case, of course, we don't know exactly what went on, but we do know he has a very powerful and very rich man in his corner, in Andre Ryabinsky. I believe that Ryabinsky gave up a couple million here and there and was able to get his fighter back into contention, not only back into contention, but he's also now the mandatory for Anthony Joshua. It's all about the money, man. Real talk. That's just no other way to put it.
Well,
in the words of Nino Brown, money talks and bullshit runs a marathon. And that's exactly, I can't say it no better than that.
You're absolutely right, man. I think the problem is that let's say if a guy is drug testing, right, and he gets caught by whoever, WBC, whoever's doing the testing at the point. Here's my thing, man. The person that's catching you is just as crooked as you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a game of fuck cat and mouse, man. It's cat and cat. and one hand watches the other. Kashad, man, do you feel like they should be working on trying to enforce the rules, like suspensions and things like that, as opposed to like appeals and all this shit? Because at the end of the day, man, the test is positive. If the test is positive and the B sample comes back positive, then you should face something. But ultimately, a lot of these guys are not.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we know what that money do. Like money, it's presidents that's supposed to be out of here that money kept in, you know?
Yeah.
It's politicians. It's money talk.
All right, Bernard.
Wow, it's I agree with everybody on the panel. It's just that how do you suspend somebody from boxing if they're not fighting? They're only fighting twice a year. Do you suspend them for a whole year? They can't fight for a whole year, or some of these guys are not even fighting.
Well, I can answer that. Okay. What they need to do is like, if first pop you get this much, second pop you get that much, third pop you get this much, right? And obviously the third pop, to me personally, should be a lifetime ban.
I agree.
Okay. Wait. So let me paint a scenario, right? So then you look at the activity of the fighter, and depending on how much he fights, let's say he only fights once a year, right? Then you suspend him for 2 years.
Took a lot of money from him.
I think also you need to put some financial 2 years in, put some money behind it.
Well, I don't think they could find you because you technically don't work for them.
Okay.
You're
Good
like
point.
basically, if you want to look at it from a personal standpoint, like a regular Joe, you would think that you're like a private contractor, like they hire you
Yeah.
to do a job. You know what I'm trying to say?
Good point.
So that's the way you look at them. So I personally just feel like you should, like when you suspend them, let's say they only fight once a year, right? You suspend them for 2 years, you took away 2 fights, man. And depending on who you are, that's anywhere from $1 million to $4 or $5 million a year. $4 or $5 million for those 2 years. If you're
Shit.
Canelo Alvarez, for example, that could be way more than that.
Shit, some of these cats that fuck around be $30,000 to $100,000, and that still will fuck your life up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah, because then you got to get a regular job.
Exactly.
Because the thing is, what happens is if you fight somewhere else, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll blackball you. So they'll suspend you. Like, let's say you get suspended in Vegas, right? And then you say, well, I'm going to go fight in Mexico. Guess what? They're not going to sanction you here again.
Yeah.
So it's I don't think it's an easy solution. I mean, Bo?
No, it's not. It's definitely not an easy solution. And you made a very good point. You said that the people that catch you is also in on it because VADA don't report what they find. They hand stuff over to the commission of the governing bodies or whoever, and then it comes out that way. And then we don't know. Just like did they releasing a statement talking about the trace amount? Well, we don't exactly know what is considered allowable or not allowable. We just going off what y'all telling us. So yeah, it's not an easy solution at all. Period, man.
Yeah, man. 2K, you want to elaborate?
Yeah, I mean,
I heard that sigh.
I mean, it's a bullshit situation. I agree with all of you guys, and I agree with Bo what he just said. It's not easy, but at the same time, if you're looking at it from the fan perspective, of course, it's not easy to please the fan to have the correct consequence. But at the end of the day, it should be simple for them to have some type of checks and balances in place to make sure that these guys are not doing this shit on a consistent basis. And that's one thing that I feel is not happening. Hence why I said the repercussions aren't good enough. You know what I'm saying? I think they're doing it on a case-by-case basis instead of having a standardized checks and balances system that says, hey, like you said, Willie, if you get popped for the third time, that's it, bro. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They need to do something like that. And that's the fucking problem here, man.
Like,
I don't think that's difficult.
You know what? You got to get creative. Like, instead of suspending them for years, you suspend them for 7. Oh, you're suspended 4 fights. You're suspended 2 fights.
Well, see, the problem with that, and I thought about that while y'all were talking earlier. The problem with that is they would have to weigh exactly when those 4 fights would actually take place. Exactly. Right. So they would look at you and be like, well, you normally fight 2 times a year, so we're going to suspend you for 4 fights.
So that's 2 years.
I can see the fighter appealing that and say, well, hey, I have a contract where I was supposed to fight 3 times this year, or I was going to fight 3 times this year. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's kind of a gray area.
It's no real easy fix, man. If you really
something else I was thinking is the not just the fighter, find the entire team, promoter, right? Punish everybody. Put
the promoter will win that on appeals in any court.
Absolutely.
And so with the trainer.
But that's the messed up part about it.
You can never prove that they were in on it.
Exactly.
And that's the messed up part about it. See, that's the part right there that's messed up because you got some people that can wiggle their way out of that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying. I get your point, and it's just the problem, man. I mean, it's not just boxing, man. It's a lot all sports, right? All guys are testing positive. There's more of an emphasis now on that type of testing. A lot of people feel like, oh, this started like, in the 2000s or some shit. This been going on in sports for forever, folks. It's just people always been a step ahead, correct? Like they start testing you for this, and you find something else. You know what I mean? So this is for me is a little disheartening. It's disappointing because I'm not a Canelo fan. I'm not a Golovkin fan. I'm a boxing fan, and this I I wonder if it puts this fight in jeopardy.
Nope. Man, Gennady gonna go in there and fight
too much money, right?
He gonna fight a machine if he have to for that
Too
bread.
much money. Yep.
He going. He don't give a fuck.
Hence the reason why everybody is like Solomon isn't telling us, like, he didn't tweet this shit like he did when it was Luis Ortiz. See what I'm saying? He's been exceptionally motherfucking careful. The WBA didn't snatch their shit off the table like they did Luis Ortiz. They've been exceptionally fucking careful.
Well, the WBC is partial towards Canelo. You know what I'm saying? We all know that. I mean, anything Canelo, the WBC, the entire organization is going to support them and Golden Boy. So,
especially after they pissed them off.
Yeah. I mean, I was just getting, that's a good point, because Canelo treated him like shit, before the first fight. And then they're still, riding his coattails like, well, come on, Canelo, let me in, let us, why don't you go ahead and fight for our title? So they're partial to Canelo all the way. So that's why they're not going to tweet this type of information and put it out there like they would other fighters.
Too big of a fighter, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because at this point, you got a fighter like of that magnitude has fanboys, and they will go in on that tweet, bro. Like,
hey, but like I said in my spiel, if Andre Ward is not afforded the luxury to go to Mexico and eat some tainted meat, he ain't even fighting right now. If he took a drug test right now and had some clenbuterol in his system, they'd fuck around and try to say that he was juicing his whole career. Right. So that's why a lot of these trainers and a lot of these fighters, they do need to be held liable. So I'm definitely hearing what Bo and 2K saying. I think there needs to be a team on this shit immediately. But it's crazy that a lot of our fighters can't eat they can't eat tainted meat. You know what I'm saying? We are not afforded that same excuse. There's people out here saying that we don't bring money to the table. There's people saying we don't have an amusing style. And it's like, we also don't have these excuses and afforded these liabilities.
Right.
So this shit crazy.
Unless your name is Mike Tyson, I swear to God, that motherfucker could be forgiven for anything.
I mean, Roy Jones got caught on some shit too.
Yeah, a lot of. I mean, this is like I said, it's something that's been a problem with sports. Period. Bernard, you want to chime in or any thoughts on your part?
I was saying that maybe all four sanctioned bodies need to come with a board,
like across the board,
like a board, because if you got this sanctioned body here, the WBC is doing their drug program. The WBA has just came out with theirs last year. The WBO, they tend to be the one that's not doing anything, and that's highly questionable. But the IBF, I don't know what their drug programming is, if any. But all four of them needs to have a board, sit on the board, because all these fighters are fighting. Some of these fighters are either in 1, 2, or all four of the sanctioned bodies, depending on what the ranking is. So that's the case. If they all in there and they're ranked in some kind of shape or form, bring it to the board. I agree with your rules. Set some kind of rules. With the third time is going to be a lifetime ban. That's it. But if you can't hit them with the fights, you got to hit them with the pockets.
I was gonna say, some people don't do it because of the expense. It's an expensive process, but I believe this shit comes out of the fighter's purse. Guys, am I wrong?
I think it does. I think a lot of these promoters, when a fight is made, if there's a guy that says, "Hey, I want drug testing," the promoter will say, "Oh yeah, well you can't get this purse then because I got to pay for it."
They did that with Tim Bradley when he wanted Manny Pacquiao to do the drug testing. I think it was the second or first fight. I can't remember. But
they also did it with Canelo and Liam
Smith.
Yeah. I think it's like 10,000 or some shit like that. I gotta ask it, man, because it just came to my mind before I close this stuff out. Guys, is Floyd Mayweather, that is, vindicated? Because he's the one that pushed for stuff like this. I don't know if you guys remember back when the Pacquiao fight was being talked about.
Yeah.
This is one of the things he pushed for, and people were actually killing him for it. Thoughts?
Yes. Well, from us, yes, but from people who don't like Floyd, no. People who don't like Floyd say that Freddie Roach or Oscar De La Hoya or somebody else were the ones that pushed for this drug testing to start. They actually omit the fact that Floyd was saying that shit about Manny Pacquiao all the way back in 2009.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, for people who respect boxing, the sport, and not, they don't have a dislike for fighters, yeah, I think he is vindicated. But those other dumb motherfuckers, not at all.
I mean, shit, there's plenty of people like me. I like Floyd in the ring. Out of the ring, that's a different story. But
Of course.
Kasha?
I think in a way it vindicates him. You still have those people that hate him, but think about it. Rocky is like the biggest cult classic, movie for boxing heads. Like not us, but the casual. Like that whole movie was about a Russian that everybody, like it was clear as day he was juicing. The movie was about him juicing, and people still just were enjoying that ravaging of a fight, that make believe bullshit.
Yeah, that was Rocky.
So it's like, yeah, so it's like, I mean, before Mayweather said it, we was making movies about the shit, and people were still loving it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, what year was that, man? That was like what? Was that like 89? 90?
That was I don't know when Rocky 3 came out.
Think about how long ago that was.
If you're talking about the Russian, that's Rocky 4.
Yeah, I was about to say that was Rocky 4. Rocky 3 was Mr. T.
Yeah. So that was like how long ago?
That was in the 80s, man. That was early 80s.
Yeah, so
early 80s, because the original Rocky was in the middle 70s. I would remember that shit.
Yes. Yeah, you were alive then. Unlike us on the planet. The first Rocky came out in 76.
You was proud of your life, huh, Bo?
He got mad. So check this out. That was back then, right? They made that shit with the steroids and stuff like that. So that's to my point where I said this is not something new in sports. It's just that people are now catching on to it. Been going on in baseball for a long time. We went through that whole era in the early 2000s. Football, stuff like that. The testing has gotten better. So there is, an effort to in a way clean out the sport. But with boxing, the only issue they're having is they're not following through on the punishment.
Yeah,
and I think we could agree with that.
Yes, sir.
Most definitely.
Well, shit, man. I'm all done, man. But no, man. Why don't you tell them when they could find you once a year?
Oh, I got some heat coming, but I'm deciding on who I want to give it to.
Oh shit!
Here we go.
Yeah. No, I'm dead serious, and I was gonna give it to. I want the Prodigy to handle this one. You can find me on here at Eastwick Boxing on Truth and Facts About Boxing. Check out the new article I wrote on Deontay Wilder on 3kingsboxing.com. Other than that, man, support the movement. Hashtag the umbrella. Support 3kingsboxing.com. More articles coming soon.
Yeah, he be around. Don't worry about it, folks. He be around once a month. Hey, Millennium.
Yeah,
you know who that is, Keisha.
hey, all y'all watch y'all motherfucking self.
Good shot, man.
I'm out here taking over. I'm in the streets. If you trying to see me, I'm in the
streets, man. The mean streets of Minnesota.
Nah, nigga, the mean streets of America. But when I do surface, man, I'm fucking with 3 Kings, Truth and Facts, Eastwick, and Prodigy of Boxing, man. I'll be out here.
Hey, hermanito, tú tienes que hablar ahora, okay?
Truth and Facts About Boxing. Also,
wait, what's your name, sir?
Call me Bo. Truth and Facts About Boxing. Also, Instagram, capital T for Truth _ capital FX box 1, and anything that's the movement.
Hey, and Truth and Facts About Boxing, man. Go hit the like button on the Facebook page. 2K, Mr. Prodigy, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, man, we got a lot of shit coming, man. We got a lot of work that we're trying to do, man. This is gonna be a hell of a year. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get a public service announcement out there, man. Whole lot of social media things that we're gonna get done. There's gonna be a whole lot of podcasts, a couple more podcasts that we're gonna have coming out to the light. We got these guys doing their panels. I know my man Willie the Kid is talking about expanding on all sports. My man Kashad, we're gonna try to get this motherfucker involved. I've been talking to him for about 3 years, almost 4 years now. It's been a while.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
I
man.
even like the dude, man.
Yeah,
Oh shit, we on the floor. I forgot. Shit.
Fuck you.
we got to get him involved, man. So, and there's a couple other cats that I'm working with right now that I'm trying to get involved with the whole movement umbrella. So, man, we're going to have a whole lot of shit coming out for you guys, man. I'm starting to see that a lot of people are catching on and they're digging the style, man. They're digging, what we're doing over at Three Kings, just what we're doing as a collective, man. So we're going to bring it even more heavy going into the middle ground of this year. So just stay tuned, man.
Hey, man, I'm Willie the Kid. I'm gonna start being more active on my channel. I took a couple, I would say like a good 3 weeks off. Not off, but I would say I was doing some other things. I'm working on projects, doing all kinds of shit, man. So I'm Willie the Kid. You can catch me here, Eastwick Boxing Talk. Check me out on Twitter, Eastwick Boxing. You can go to Facebook, like the page, Eastwick Boxing. I'm cutting up a lot of videos for you guys. I'm bringing you a lot of different type of entertainment, along with the YouTube stuff, along with the threekingsboxing.com. Shit, man. Just go follow our pages, man. We drop stuff. I'm with my man Bo on Truth and Facts About Boxing constantly. Bernard is the other co-host when he shows up. Yeah, I'm picking on him tonight. And you can also catch me every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Block Talk Radio, Four Corners Boxing Talk with my man C-Bone Henderson. Where we chop it up. We do a lot of boxing talk. This is what we do. This is what we love. And yeah, look out for all sport content, man. One.